In this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to improve fast and how to take your creative skills into in-game. Nice. So many players watching this can't play that much per day, or they're not happy with how much they're improving at the moment, and this video is going to skyrocket how quickly you can get better at the game. I'm going to show 4 creative maps that I think are the best and most efficient practice you can do, and these are the only 4 maps I would recommend doing. Everything else is a waste of time. Then I'm going to show you guys exactly how you want to approach playing the actual game to get the most efficient time usage, as well as getting that translated into actual tournaments, which we'll look at later on. Alright, let's get started with the best creative map for endgame. The best creative map to practice your endgames as well as tarping and rotates is Rapid Zone Wars. You get the comp loop pool, and it's just basically no downtime, no really long waits like in other modes like Booga's endgame. That just basically mean your practice isn't efficient. The whole point of the practice I'm showing in this video is to improve fast and be as efficient as possible, which is why I think Rapid Zone Wars is one of the best options to do. Also, rather than just playing one map over and over like other popular zone wars, you're playing lots of different scenarios that are realistic to in-game POIs. The best fighting practice at the moment, I would say, in creative is doing speed realistics. The main reason we're going to do this is because you can fight against random people with the matchmaking really quickly and efficiently, and you're not just practice fighting against one type of opponent. You also get good practice fighting on the defensive and offensive versus multiple different people. The biggest mistake people make when it comes to their warm-up is they always fight against the same people. Either they just 1v1 their mates every single day, and the issue with that is, of course, even if they're a good player, you're only fighting against one type of person. You need variety. You need to fight good players, bad players, controller players. You need to fight people that run at you, people that piece you. You need to fight all these different player types, because that is who you're going to run up against when you play tournaments. Oh my god, buddy got hit with a full door piece. That is why I've completely stopped doing BHE 1v1s pretty much at the moment. I only do these speed realists just so I can matchmake against other players and get to know those different player types and get to know how to beat them every single time. Next, a very good practice map is Rapid Cash Realistics. It's basically just an in-game 1v1 map, but you have the cash objective to fight over. If you're going to struggle with getting caches, and especially struggle when you're dealing with C4 and other people aggressing you with rocket rams and things like that as you go for your cache, this is really worth practicing, and it definitely helped me get more caches. I was able to claim and steal other people's caches just by playing this map and practicing using it. Next, if you guys want to go ahead and work on your aim, I'd highly recommend doing Raiders aim training map. Even if you feel like you've got good aim, just doing this once or twice a week is going to really help your mouse control, as well as just make it way better with tracking, especially when people use rocket rams. I'd recommend going ahead and doing some glider tracking, especially if you're playing comp, as well as long range AR tags, long range tracking, as well as one of my favorites to do at the moment is bounce tracking. Basically hop in here, you can go ahead and get whatever guns that you want that you'll be using in comp, like an SMG and an AR, and then the bot is going to go ahead and bounce in front of you. This is really good, especially if you're playing ranked versus shockwaves. You're going to be killing people out there way more and just have 10 times better aim. Also, if you guys want to go ahead and earn a 0 build, this is a must to do every single time you go ahead and play. Now, after you've done a selection of those 4 creative maps, the key thing with improving fast is you go and actually play in game. So many people, they play way too much creative and they can't transfer it into ranked. So what I'd always recommend doing is spending less than an hour at most in creative every single day. Just spend about 30 to 40 minutes, and then the rest of your time should be spent playing ranked or playing scrims. This is going to allow you to have the fastest rate of improvement, because you're going to get used to how it actually feels when you're playing a tournament. It's going to help you with your fighting when it comes to opens, as well as your game plan when it comes to finals. Another one of the absolute best ways of improving transferring your creative skill to in-game is not just playing solo ranked, but playing team mode ranked, especially with somebody worse than you. This might sound counterintuitive, and you might think, I need to play with somebody good to go ahead and improve since I can learn from them. But if you play with somebody a lot worse than you fighting wise, it means that you have to carry every single fight. You can be 1v2ing a lot more. You're going to be trying to close down and get the opening knock-in fights. It's going to allow you to have much more confidence when you're fighting, since you're playing with a worse player and you have to carry them. And it's also going to allow you to get a lot more fights in, and you can maybe practice fighting with someone who's going to help support spray, or someone who's going to go ahead and be able to grab edits for you, and you can do the main work. It really is one of the best ways of practicing, and it definitely translates over to tournaments, because you can then be playing with somebody similar skill level to you in duos or in solos. You're going to have a lot more confidence.
Let me get a clip, boy. Let's go in. I'm going in with a pace. Max!
And once you've gone ahead up and queued up into ranks, it's champ rank, I would always recommend not hot dropping or going for one of these big new POIs. It might be tempting, but a lot of the times you're not going to get quality fighting practice, and I'd really recommend going for a landing spot that you actually want to be landing at in a tournament. Reason for this is because in solo Cash Cup finals, if you get that top 7.5k mark, you only have 3 games, and you can play all 3 out to endgame if you don't die off spawn or die mid-game at all, which is what you should be practicing for. You got to think, what are you actually trying to practice and improve on? And if you click on this video, I'm guessing you guys want to go ahead and make money from playing comp rather than just having fun playing the game. So what I always do is go to a lesser landed at spot, get a really good drop for it, as you can see here. And then I'm going to go ahead and have some practice, some realistic fights. I can get some free kills out there because, of course, I've got the drop master. Completely out-drop these 2 guys. GG, buddy. Just quickly, if you're looking for a landing spot and you want to go ahead and get easy kills out the air and just things like that, where you're going to completely out-drop people, go ahead and check out Drop Masters, world's best drop maps. Literally every single top pro uses one. You can go and get a free map when you check out Drop Masters, and it's obviously really good. While you're playing ranked as well, it's important not to just run around aimlessly going ahead and fighting people, especially like on congested side and things like that. I'd also make a really big effort to try to fight for things that you're actually going to go for, especially things that you're going to go for, let's say, your first game of a tournament. So I'm going to be practicing going for my cash, of course. I'll go for every single game, as well as going for island, since now island points have been re-added. It's really important that you guys can try to go for island. This guy's got a slurp on, so we're going to play nice and slow while he's got the slurp on, since he's probably going to want to play fast. He's trying to peek me from the back of his box right there. Now his slurp has run out, he's full HP, we can maybe increase the tempo, especially if we get attacked. Very nice, okay. Also, as I was just explaining there, I'd always recommend approaching your fights somewhat slowly. Get a gauge of how the player is. Don't just play all your fights at like a max tempo where you're trying to kill them as quick as possible. It's really bad practice to do that, in my opinion, because it gives you bad habits when you're actually playing tourneys and you're actually up against a lot better opponents. Instead, take the time, especially if they've got slurps on and things like that, or they're playing really defensive, take the time to figure out exactly how they're playing and how you can counter it, like I did there, and it will allow you a lot easier time of actually winning fights consistently. Another thing that I like to do as I'm playing ranked is to go ahead and slow down near the end of the game, especially here when there's like 5 people left, and just try to get it into an end game. This might sound a little bit pointless and a waste of time, but the thing is, I'm going to get extra late game practice, as well as this is very similar to how your first game of Cash Cup is going to look like. If you can practice winning that every single game plus getting island, that's 45 points plus all the kills you're going to get, at least 5 or 6 or so every single game. Cool. Now we're into the 1v1. Imagine this is for $100. I got the charge, I forgot. I don't know. Unlucky Monfrey. Nice. Okay. So in that one game, I practiced using my drop map. I practiced my off spawn, my loot path, how I'm going to rotate, where I'm going to fight. I've also practiced getting my cash and fighting for it, how I'm going to get the island first game of the Cash Cup, as well as if I want to get that 15 points in other games, as well as a load of extra fights, a bunch of fights. And on top of that, I've gone ahead and got a decent amount of wave to Unreal, 78%, 13 kills, 13 fights. And I've practiced an endgame and 1v1 scenario that's quite realistic. You guys need to focus on getting the best quality out of the time you're putting into the game. if you want to go ahead and improve and perform your best.